Yeah, they won against Brazil. Yeah.
Hmm?
So the US
US,
women's team.
yeah. The
Oh, they're
US is
good now. Should be
China.
they're the ones that sent us away now. The ones that sent Nigeria away from the Olympics.
Exactly, and the US team also beat Nigeria.
And that's
Um,
why I said no.
yeah.
You watched at my you watched at my no. You watched the one we played against what was it? What country was
Um,
that? The day you
yeah.
came on Sunday.
Yeah. Was it not Canada? No, no.
Canada. Yeah, it was Canada.
Yeah, it was
It was
Canada.
Canada.
Edit. Okay, so Instagram is done. I just need to do edit my audience for Facebook. I know every time you go live on Facebook, it always says only me, but I want it to be public. Just 1 second, guys. Okay, and then I will tag you all in this, so that way it can show on your screen as well. And Popola, two pops, and then Candy, Popola, yeah, and same page. Dang it.
Are you guys back from the holidays already?
Just got back this morning.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
How many days were you guys out for?
5 days. Oh, how many days, baby?
5 nights? The 4 nights?
No, fun.
No, 4 nights. I
4 nights.
wished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually, all these days are usually very short. Eh?
We went back
that's a
to
struggle.
Where did you guys go to?
Costa
Costa Rica.
Rica.
Ah, nice. South America. Definitely my
Central.
bucket list.
Yeah,
Highly
but
recommend it.
it was really nice though. But lot of
What's the but?
mosquito bites. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. What's
What
about
was it?
that? Mosquito didn't bite it. Mosquito didn't bite me. Yeah, they have the little bugs there. It's very tropical, so like the warm heat and
Good
all that.
weather.
Yeah.
As you have good
hmm
weather, first of all, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just one moment, and then we can get started. Where's this chicken? So edit. No. Facebook. Yes. And then at Popola, at Pops, at Adelikwe, Adelikwe. All right. So tag you all on Facebook, and then we can get started. I'll just do a quick intro and just all of that. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Merciful Podcast. My name is Mo, and today we're talking about the enigmatic world of twins, a topic that both fascinates and intrigues many of us, including myself. Like many of you, I too am very obsessed with twins. I mean, I'm married to one, so there goes. So just imagine my shock over how many years I've been married that I discovered just how ordinary these people can be. They're just regular people, shocking. And despite our collective fascination with the extraordinary bond, I imagine that while the idea of having a twin will spark curiosity and envy in the hearts of those who might walk into the journey of life alone, but being a twin carries its own set of complex, conflicting emotions and experience. So imagine just saying that your own existence might threaten the uniqueness and independence of someone else, someone who might share your face, your birthday, and perhaps your deepest secrets, right? So, what is it really like to be a twin? It's a question that goes far beyond the charming cliches and synchronized telepathy often portrayed in Hollywood movies. Today, we have not one, but two sets of twins who will be helping us unpack the layers of their twinhood. From the joyous to the challenging, they will share the insights into their shared and individual lives. And these twins, their existence stretches across different continents, yet they're connected by an unbreakable bond. So whether you've dreamt of, being a twin or you're captivated by their stories, today we will explore those dynamics. And so today we have four. Well, hopefully the fourth one can join us. Um, Today we have four individuals potentially. One is the Adedikwe twin, no order of magnitude or anything. One is the Adedikwe twin, Kendi and Taiwo, and then we have the Popola twins, Kendi and Taiwo. For our non-Nigerian or non-African audience, in our tribe as Nigerian Yorubas, anyone bearing Kehinde or Taiwo, it's a dead giveaway that that's like a pair of a set of a twin. So Taiwo is someone that came to the world first, and then Kehinde really means literally means the one that came after. And there's always that, well, I sent you to go on air, and there's always that, oh, competition, I'm older by 2 seconds. We that are non-twins really don't care, but I'll let him introduce himself. Going from my screen, I'll start with Mr. Popola, just with introduction of yourself, and then T-Dog and Mr. Kenya Didipe will go ahead as well. And thank you, by the way, for coming on the podcast today.
Yes, thanks for having me, Mo. Hello to the Adidikwe twins.
Hello.
Always glad to be on the Mo Sibyl podcast. When I got the invitation, I was happy to oblige. Hopefully, my Taiwo is able to join. I've been trying to reach out to him. Looks like he might be having some network issues. But just to give a brief introduction about myself, my name is Kehinde Popola. But as you see on the screen, the two Kennys have put Kenny because it's a popular nickname for candies, and like Mo said, is a giveaway. So anytime you see a Kehinde or a Kenny, the chances are they are twins. Although here in the UK, because I live in the UK, the Scottish and Irish, there are lots of Kennys. That's a popular name amongst them as well. So if you're speaking to a Scot or an Irish, they might not be twins. Like I said, I currently live in the UK with my family. I work as a digital analyst with a retailer. My day-to-day job involves configuration of analytics on their digital platforms. The bond between myself and my twin, if he joins, is you'll see that we're identical twins. So it's just an automatic giveaway. When people see us, the first thing they look at, they do a double take and say, "Oh, guys, twins," and say yes. And then the question happens: which one of you is Taro? Which one of you is Kehinde? That kind of conversation goes on. But yeah, that in a nutshell is my intro, and I'm happy to explore more questions. So
Thank you. T-Dog.
Why not
No.
let the Kenyans go first now? Okay. Well, I'm Taiwo Adidikwe, and I guess my twin brother is the one with the
Fine face.
right, with the fine face and whatever he did on his head there, I don't know. But anyway, I live in Edmond, Oklahoma, and what else am I supposed to say? Yeah, I'm glad to be here on the More Civil podcast again. I heard I have a lot of fans here, so maybe Kenny can get some fans too. So, in terms
Right?
Kenny. No, we are okay. Kenny, I did it, but yes. So those that are watching can. I'm a physician. I work in one of the local hospitals here. I work as a hospitalist, and I take care of patients that are sick in the hospital. Try to stabilize them, and then send them on their way back, so home. So that's what I do in a nutshell, and I'm glad to be here. Nice to meet you all.
Okay, last one on the list.
Hi everyone, my name is Omo Kehinde Babajide Adedipe. Omo Kehinde Begbon,
Yeah.
senior one to T Dog. We sent we sent him to the world to go and test the world how it is first of all. Then we decided to come and say, when it's okay, this is good and all. So, anyways, that's just a popular story that goes on in the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. I'm professionally trained as an architect and interior designer from Nigeria. Recently, well, not I wouldn't say recently anymore because I'm about 3 years in the UK now. I live in Derby, in the United Kingdom, and I work as an interior designer for Cantaloupe Incorporated, which is a company predominantly based in the US, and they deal in micro market systems and all that. So I do mock-up designs for them to basically. I don't want to just bore you all with all the boring stuff and all that too, but in just a nutshell, I work as an interior designer for Cantaloupe PLC too. As an interior
Great.
designer. I'm glad to be here, Mo. Thanks for bringing me on the show, and it's nice
Thank
to
you.
see you. And
Thank
I'm
you.
hoping Ty will peak and also join us soon to be
Yes,
nice.
hopefully. Right, to get his
Uh,
perspective.
yeah,
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 to hear
yeah.
from him too.
And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Kenny Popola for suggesting this. He had actually shared a video with me that was done by Cruz. And we got talking. He came here when he came visiting here. We got talking about, and I realized, you know what, that's something we can explore. And anytime Mr. Kenny tells me to do anything for the podcast, I just always, do it because he and his wife, Tutu, are just very strong supporters of the podcast. So thank you, Mr. Kenny. Um, this question, I'm just gonna ask it, and anyone can feel free to hop on it. Can you recall the moments when you realized that being a twin made your relationship different from other sibling relationships? And it might also help before you answer this to kind of talk about your positioning in your family. I imagine you all have, I know for, like the other quiz, I know your positions in the family, but for the sake of those who don't know,
Audio,
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
audio. Your mic is off.
Yeah, on mute.
it's better now.
Yes.
Okay, yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry about that. So I was saying that for those who don't know your position in the family, begin by just telling us what number you are, how many siblings you have, and then the question was recalling the moment you realized that the relationship you had with your sibling maybe was different from with your twin. Sorry, was different from your other siblings.
I could go first this time.
Sure.
Okay. Uh, um, Candy, well, they call me last card. That's what they call me, as I was the last to come through mom's birth canal. That's what she likes to drum that in my head. So, um,
You know.
we're seven in the family. Yeah. Oh, the last of us, which is Taiwan, I twins, and I won't exactly say that I knew when we were like twins and stuff like that, but it was something like you just grow into it more or less. You don't know. I think it's just the fact that I had a playmate. I know I had a playmate that was always there to have fun with, more or less. So then the kind of dressing, I think the dressing was just kind of what made it sealed it up for us. Like, anytime we're wearing stuff, this guy's wearing the same thing as me. What's all this one now? Why is this guy wearing this stuff? And I think that kind of like makes it more sit with you that okay, this guy you're a twin, and I think that was just what made me realize it. I think the dressing that was the first thing, then the play having a playmate to always have fun with at all times. Sleep together. No, I hope that didn't come out in the wrong way. We slept on the same bed. Slept on the same bed. Had fun with everything together. You did everything together. Bathed together too. School together. The same classrooms and all that too. So that's basically what made us. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. So in our case, Taiwan and I are the first of our mom's birth canal.
Oh, okay.
So
We're going with this big canal narrative, aren't we?
so we're the first, first from our mom, and then we've got two sisters. But our own family is unique in a way that there's a lot of twins in our family. So my paternal grandfather was a twin. He was a Kennedy. So my dad's dad was a Kennedy. And then my mom has twin siblings as well. So my grandmom was Yabage and my granddad was Yabage. So it was just a thing that, okay, another set of twins in the family. And when we go for extended family events, it was like, oh, they'll say Kennedy, and it's the case of which of the Kennedys are they talking about? So that's when that dynamic that okay, there are peers of us within the family, and then the regular things of having to wear the same sets of clothes, and things like that. But yeah, within the extended family it was just a regular thing because there's been like generations of twins, so like from the grandparents to my aunties, and then also again, so different generation of twins. So it's quite unique in that way where everybody already liked the twin because we already had them in the family. So yeah, it was quite interesting growing up within that kind of extended family settings.
Thank you. T Dog.
Okay, I guess the last but uh no, whatever. Yeah, blanking out now. But anyway, yeah. So just like Kanye said, we're the last cards were the sixth and seventh of the family, um, and I guess I would say I kind of agree with Kanye. That growing up and getting the same clothes, the same things, pretty much same shoes, clothes, everything, sort of the same, right? And co, like they call it.
And
We,
go.
we we used to do that, growing up a lot. You know, my parents also, especially my mom, as she was a teacher, right? She would like to, make sure that we stayed in the same class and all that. So we had the same friends, went to the same school, we're together up until I think was it primary school, NAA, or so. No, no, we're in same class till command actually. I think secondary school, maybe the senior secondary school, SS1 or so, is when we
Yeah, we're separated on
separated
S1.
into, yeah, two different classes, but pretty much we had the same friends and everything growing up to that point. But yeah, doing everything together, going to parties together and all that stuff. And like Mr. Kenny said too, we had twins from my mom's side. Um, her older sister had twins. Um,
Two
and
sets of twins for the
two
matter.
sets of twins. Yeah. So, and then she had twins. My mom had twins. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So thinking about the relationships you have, in what way do you think you might be similar to your twin? In what ways do you think you're different? And I know you have a set of fraternal twins, which is T Dog and Kenny Adedepe, and then Mr. Kenny and his twin, who's not here yet. You're identical. So I imagine that there are just some things that people just see. Oh, phenotypically they look alike, right? In what ways do you think you're all similar or even differed significantly?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, most people that see myself and, kind of, especially maybe his picture or something, be like, oh, you guys look like brothers, but we don't look,
Yeah.
we're not identical. We're not anything identical. Um, and then what was the other part of your question again?
Yeah, how are you similar?
Similarities.
Huh. How are we similar? Well, growing up, I know we did like some. We're partners in crime. Growing up, especially doing some really, I mean, so we like to fight
Mischievous.
a lot. When we were younger. We did lots of mischievous things. I'm sure kind of remember growing up. Would actually,
The milk you stole from your neighbor's house.
yeah, we kind of sneak through the window. I'm not sure
That
if
was
I
Cyrillac.
ever yeah, would climb, and sneak through the window like the barricaded iron bars, and oh my god, did some really naughty things. But yeah, but what I'll say though is I think we both had, or we both have, similar drives to be the best that we could be. Um, I think that's one thing I know stands out. What else? What other ways are we similar?
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Kenny?
To be fair, he said most of it already. He's just
Yeah.
left. He said most of it. When they first said the pictures, they said, "Are you sure you guys look definitely look alike, but
Mm-hmm.
you guys don't look like twins." Of course, we're fraternal.
Mm-hmm.
According to the medical term, I think I learned that from Taiwo. Once one day I came, was it monozygotic, a bit dizygotic, or what
I
do you
got
call
sick.
it?
That's exotic. Yeah. Two.
Dizygotic, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah. Yeah. Two different eggs. Yeah. Yeah.
stuck in my head since year 1 or year 2 in Unilag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, partners in crime. We I was usually the instigator,
Mm.
and I used to put him in a lot of trouble that time too. And thank God for God, anyway. But
We knew who committed the crimes and who confessed the easiest.
how was easiest to confess?
Of course, we know.
Yep.
Before they even ask, they already confess.
I mean, like,
Must have been annoying being a twin with him because you can never keep secrets.
yeah, like what's wrong with this guy? Joseph? I mean, I could don't lock up.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kenny. How about you?
Yeah, in our case, I guess because we're identical twins, the difference is more around our interest, and this is part of the thing that grinds me up because I'm a identical twins is the binarization,
Hmm.
trying to figure out which one is this, which one is that. People come and ask like, oh, which one is older, which one is younger, and which one came out first,
Annoying question.
which one is the quiet one. Like because of the cliche you see in like Hollywood and in movies and in books, there's always an evil twin. So which one is the evil twin? Which one is the good twin? But for us, for the most part, we have similar temperaments. Growing up, we used to be very quiet. I remember our aunt telling us a story that she used to enjoy babysitting us because we didn't used to give her any troubles. But I think our differences were more around what we liked. I was more like into electronics, cars. But I was more like creative, used to draw a lot and things like that. So it was in our interest that those differences came out. But personality wise, I think we pretty much had like identical personalities as well. But yeah, for me, that binarization of which one is this, it just yeah, it grinds me up every time. But it's one of the perks of being a twin.
As a lay audience, here, let me just say it just gets us going. Like we're not doing it to kind of like be voyeuristic. It's just like when you see identical people, it's like wow, you guys look the same. Like you're looking around and it's like, so it's just indulge us. We don't mean it. Well, I'll speak for myself. I don't mean it as it's just very fascinating seeing twins. All right, and thanks all around for those responses. I guess the next question would be, so in our society, how we grew up, right? I think it's probably changing now because of the way parenting is done. You had solid expectations, be a doctor or lawyer or judge or anything or nothing else. And from all of you here, you have different interests. You pursue, we have IT, architecture, medicine. So given that within families, siblings are compared to one another, period. But how much more twins where there's that juxtaposition of timing, right? This is somebody that you should be doing equally as good as. For the set of you here, how are you able to stand out differently, knowing that you and your twin had, varied interests and you had different paths as far as career and all that? Were there times where you're compared to one another? How was that like for you?
Yeah, we were definitely compared to one another. Sometimes. Well, I think if okay, sorry, if I can go first,
Sure,
Taiwo.
yeah, go, yeah.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
I think I was more like the playful one. Oh, but I am still the playful one.
I'll say was.
Oh, is Taiwo playful now? Has he?
No, you still are. Don't worry. No, he's trying, but nobody can beat your tempo. Don't worry.
So, and I was kind of the one that I don't like to read for long. I can pick up a book and I'm just and I'm gone. My attention span is like that of a fish, like Dory, Dory in
You
Shark
find
Tale.
anymore? Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
so
Finding
yeah,
Nemo? Sorry, Finding Nemo.
maybe
Sorry.
I think find anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, but it doesn't take me long to grasp stuff and all that too. And so I think that kind of affected me. I could get things easily. I used to take first. I said, well, they used to say that time that okay, when you're telling your children, I used to take first to school, but this was literally I used to take first to school all the time. So um, and I think I kind of like got too relaxed into it, and got too self-confident that I just thought I didn't need to read that much as that. I think I used to surpass Taiwo in those early days that time too.
I agree.
Yes,
Until I took over.
until you took over because I just let you anyway. When you just you let the younger ones grow a little bit. Anyway, that's by the side.
Sacrilegious.
Let me get back on track. So, um, of course, but I think it was a healthy competition nonetheless, amongst us between both of us, and we were also compared at some time, especially when we got to secondary school. when it was time to present your results to dad, and you hear the Kenny, there's the whistles, and Dave's gonna bring up Kenny, go bring your report cards. Then I'll be looking at his phone and looking at my own. Oh, bless yourself. Anyway, I remember the last one that happened. The last one that was really 1996. Just after our elder
You
sister.
remember the date?
I remember 1996. Just after our elder sister's wedding, we had done everything. That let everything slide. He asked us for our result. That day, I remember I took my result. My report card was the worst ever in my life. I had 36. I was 36 in class. Yes.
Out of how many?
Out of maybe there were plenty in the class. maybe like 70 something or 80 something in that class that time. Orange, GSS3 orange. I remember. Taiwo was it 12th or 15th? I can't remember, but obviously it was better. And that calls us and like, okay, what's going on? Where should be a shade? Don't know.
You went to trials and tribulation. You went to exams.
I thought you guys wrote exams. Yeah. Okay. I said, okay, let's go. So we now went downstairs to go pick the. We hid it. On that time, I remember that cupboard now by the side where we used to keep our toast machine and all those old plates. We put that one mat there. We now brought us. I said, you want to still better now,
You start first.
Maybe you should go first. Let me go first. You go first. We went, we presented it to Popsy, opened it. Popsy just went, folded it. Second one, folded it, and I was like, what are you guys waiting for? Say it in Yoruba. What are you guys waiting for? You beat, you smacked. Oh no! So the next term, we came out with really good. I think I became second or so. I think I can't remember. Anyway, we did much better than I think that was usually the goal. But I think we usually were at par with each other. But Tao obviously was gone in for the medical line, so he was reading more. He loves to read. Tao loves to read. I'm more of a visual person. I hate staring at books for so long. I get bored easily. And let me just summarize it. Sorry.
Thank you. You're good. Mr. Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, for us, that comparison is constant with every milestone. For us, unlike the Adedikbes, for our primary and secondary school, I think our parents did a cautious effort of making sure we were not in the same class. We were different classes. And I think in those years, we were pretty much at par. We always compliment each other as in our scores and things like that. But when we got to the university, we studied the same course. So we're in the same class. I know. Yeah. We were in the same class. We did the same classes together. I did slightly better than him in a few of the courses. And yeah, those comparison will happen now. Yeah, is the same. Because what do you have? You have two sets of people. They were born on the same day. They had access to the same resources and things like that. The expectation is that they go at par, but not realizing that we have our individualities. Even career-wise, we've now drifted. I stayed more into the IT role. He's gone into like marketing and all. So there's always that comparison with every milestone that I achieve in my own. They try to juxtapose it with his career to say, okay, then what are you doing in your own bit? Which each individual has their own parts, but unfortunately, it's the case that people still have that mindset that you have access to the same resources, so you should keep moving at the same level. But it's not always the same case. It also happens with different milestones in life. When you get married, when you start to have children, it's the same thing. Okay, how about your twin? You meet somebody and you have a chat with them. Oh, okay. Oh, you're married now. Okay, so what about did you guys marry on the same day? So things like that. But yeah, it's always a constant need to remind people that we're our own individuals and we'll just do things in our own time.
Yeah. I mean, and thanks for that reminder. I feel like sometimes when we, as non-twins, when we ask those questions, we may have good intentions, but then the message it might be sending might be quite contrary to the goals we're seeking. So thanks for that reminder of just how we ask questions. So I think coincidentally, all of you live on different planets, right? Your twin set. So Mr. Kenny, you live in the UK. Your twin lives in Nigeria, and then the Adediquest are scattered between the US and the UK. What challenges have you faced, living apart from your twin in different countries? Not even just physical, but time and, even growing apart as the sense of that word, not being there physically. And how have you been able to maintain that bond, the twin bond as it were?
Yeah,
Well, Taiwo?
in one part, I mean, I've not physically seen my twin in over a decade. I was with my auntie
Wow.
yesterday, and she was
Wow.
like, "Oh,
Wow.
when last did you go to Nigeria?" I was like, "Yeah, it's been ages. I've not seen him in physically seen him in ages." So, yeah, it's been that long. It's the new reality we see in the world where families are scattered all over. So, yeah, that's a bit of a challenge. But we talk every other day. I mean, technology has made it easier that we get stuck a lot. But it's just the case that we've not had the need to go back to Nigeria in a while, and the rest of the family in North America as well. So that dynamics is there for us. So I think for me, it's more around the physical interaction with him. So yeah, it's been that long, and thank God for technology and the ability to be able to use other means to interact. But yeah, definitely soon we'll touch base.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot again, but when you said a decade, I didn't even know it's been that long. How do you think? Because again, you guys are identical, which not saying that fraternal twins will have the same problem, right? But you know how they say twins, you guys have this bond, you're like each other's best friends, right? If I haven't seen my best friend in 10 years, it's like, can I still call them my best friend? Do you think that distance and time has eroded the quality of your relationship despite keeping in touch through technology and all that?
No, because with twins, I think we've got a special dynamic between ourselves. It's not like what you see in the movie, like if somebody taps me here, we'll feel it in
You'll feel it
Nigeria.
there.
No,
Yeah,
it
it doesn't happen.
it doesn't happen that
Telepathy
way.
now.
But
Don't ruin it for us. This is how we think. We think it's like that. Like you guys just feel everything
no, but we
telepathically.
have that bond where we grew up together. There's always going to be that bond where even when we get on the call, we are still able to bond and feel those gaps that I mean, yes, physically that's missing, but we're still able to fill those gaps of that distance between us. Um, we like in our case, we can pretty much talk about anything. I keep him up to date on what's going on with me. Likewise from his end as well. So yeah, it's just the privilege of that twin bond is always going to be there. I mean, like from our family where we've got lots of twins, there's always that dynamics as well. I look at like my grandparents and my aunties that are twins. They also had that dynamics where they are living separately, they lived separately, or they're living separately, and we always knew that there was always going to come that point in our lives where we're going to be apart because we saw it with the ones that preceded us. So,
Mm. Well, immigration, suppressing families one person at a time. All right. The added request. How about you guys?
Do you want to go, Taiwo? Or do you want me to go?
Oh, you like to go first now, just like your name.
Taiwo.
We should talk about this twin competition next.
As in, like, really? Anyway, I think ours was more like because we went on different paths when it came to university, and I think that kind of eased it into reality. Like we're going to be living apart for a while. As I went into the medical school, and I was back in studying architecture, so we weren't seeing that constantly anymore. After year one, we're both the last time we really lived together was in our year one when we were in both in newest stall together.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we squatting under him, and then when we moved to Idera Baluth, and I was back in we were seeing maybe once in 2 weeks, every fortnight or something, or once a month. Or so. I can't remember how frequently we used to see them, but
Mm-hmm.
that kind of like sets the pace for how everything went. And leaving school, then getting married too, then moving to the US, and that was the longest period. That was. I think you left in 2011, right?
Yes.
2011, and we didn't see until 2019 again. That was a good 8 years, which was
Mhm.
very, very long. Thank God you were witness there the day we saw each other. It was a
Mhm.
very beautiful moment. Like I have it on video, still have it on video. And thank
Just send it, please, when you're done. I haven't seen that in a while. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can send it to you. I'll send
yeah,
it to you.
it should. It should.
Mhm.
I'll send it. I'll send it. I still have it on video. And I think when I saw you that day, it made me realize how much I had missed you more than
Oh,
when you right. Do you want
Kleenex or what? Give him Basia. Let him cry inside Basia.
so seeing him made me know how much I've missed him so much that time. And like, there's just a special bond there, irrespective. Even though we are very different in our way of life or the way we interact with everything. So, and I think it's been about 4 years now. 5 years that I saw you last thing in Taiwan, and that
Yeah.
just feels
Yeah.
like yesterday when we were all going to Lekki. And
Yeah.
right.
yeah, that's wow. No, you shouldn't get to that anymore.
Hopefully we'll fix or rectify that soon,
Oh,
hopefully.
we have
Yeah.
to. So
Yeah.
that's
Thank
it.
you, Kenny. Thank you. How about you, T-Dog?
Uh, what was the question again?
I know I had to repeat that. Your relationship, being so far away, how you able to keep that going despite the distance between you guys in
Yeah,
different countries. Yeah.
yeah. I think just as Candy said, we kind of highlighted, how, all studying different things in college kind of naturally, split out in two different directions, and that maybe helped ease the transition. I know you sometimes even you say that, well, last time we heard from your twin brother, like, are you guys supposed to be close? Blah 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 blah. Are you guys
Every
like,
time I have to do that, that's my duty as a wife. When I have to be talking to your twin brother, because I expect you guys to talk every day.
no, it doesn't have
You
to be
only
every
have
day.
one job as a twin, in my opinion. Call your twin every day. That's my
So
fantasy.
so we might not talk every day, but when we talk, it's just like a continuation of where we stopped.
Where we
Like,
stopped, yeah.
It's just weird to me. I don't know. This is just me as an outsider
I
looking in.
think
Like
it's
if I
because
had it, is it because guys or girls are
sorry to
different?
sorry to
Would it
cut
be
it. I think
different?
it's
Yeah.
because you have a mindset of maybe like how twins are interconnected. Maybe there's this special DNA that runs in us that connects us together that you mustn't lose. I think that's what is it's there in your head. So to be honest, we're just brothers that are born on the same day.
Do you think it might be different if we were females?
I'm not sure. I'm not a female.
Because trust me, I feel like if I had another twin
Imagine,
like
yeah,
me,
because you guys are more.
hey, you will know your word though.
Yeah, you guys
well,
are more. Yeah, yeah.
well,
I think yeah, I think Mo might be right.
Yes. To be honest,
So
yeah.
my aunts that are twins, yeah, they're women. They're fraternal, they're not identical, but growing up and watching them, oh my god, yeah, they were inseparable. Yeah, so I think for women it's different
Yeah, yeah,
from what I gathered. Maybe not
yeah,
all, but yeah.
and even some mixed, like male and female.
yeah. Might be different.
Like one of the nurses at work, was telling me that she's a twin. Her brother, she has a twin brother, and that they're very close. They talk maybe every other day or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think the female dynamic I've seen is either they really like each other or they hate each other. Like there's no in between. But the guys are just mellow, like yeah, I'm a twin. I'm like, you guys are cool like this, like every day, every day. We're talking every day, But again, this is part of the fun. This is what we're talking about. Is just to debunk a lot of the myths and fantasies we have. Yeah. So this question is very general because I don't know if it pertains to any one of you. And I got it really. It was inspired by the video Mr. Kenny had sent to me, and I've observed some things. I was observing some of my friends who are twins. There's this, and I think it comes from the family unit. Usually, maybe the parents. say for example, there's a like a child, a twin is preferred or is more favorable to one of the parent than the other, and it sets them up in a way that there's that competition and jealousy, and is the way they even talk about themselves, or the way one twin is perceived to be better at this and the other. For people who might be going through that, I don't want to make it personal, just to, in case you're gonna want to, if it's applicable to any one of you, how do you, for those who might be going through this, where you love your twin, but you're constantly being compared, and it's really creating that jealousy, and you feel like it's really affecting the quality of your relationship. For those who might be experiencing that, I mean, how can you help them explore through those dynamics that might not even be due to something they caused, but because one parent is, favoring one twin, or one sibling has favored one twin, or things like that?
Hmm. I don't think we grew up, feeling that, right? Like, did you really feel like? I think my parents did their best, not to feel like, they favored one person over the other. Although, I we both knew that growing up, Kenny was the one that caused more troubles.
And
And
you were the snitch.
yeah, and I was a snitch sometimes.
Snitches get stitches.
I was snitch. I was snitch. My God. Hmm.
I snitched, but yeah, uh, but yeah, I didn't think we experienced that dynamic. Other than my older sister, our firstborn. I know sometimes she called Kendi her my son, my son.
My son.
So
uh
me too. I
Oh, that
was
was. Oh, sorry,
growing
don't let
up,
me cut you.
growing up. I was like, okay, my son. So who is my own now, my own person? But I didn't really get to get to me. Maybe my other sister, Stefano, maybe she. I mean, I know she said even as when I was a child, that they always like to carry me because I was more
Chubby.
handsome. I was
You
more
know,
handsome.
you were chubby. We've seen your
I
I
was,
let
pictures.
him see what he wanted to
I
say.
was,
He
I
wanted
was
to say
more,
something.
I was more handsome and chubby and everything. I didn't cry. I didn't cause trouble. So they preferred to carry me and play with me than Kende.
Let
So
me.
maybe that's why my older sister was like,
If you
this
don't
Kende.
mind, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't mind.
kind of, yeah, retort, yeah.
When I was born, according to Mom Siano, you can ask. I should tell you, I was a very special kid, in the sense that very sensitive medically. Mangbe Koparimo gone. Like I used to get a lot of reflux and all that too.
Yeah,
Scales, skin rashes, and all that too. So I was very, very, very special. Like no one just don't touch him, kind of stuff. Like you get what I'm
mm,
trying to say.
mm,
I think Taiwo was born a healthy, bouncing baby boy. I was well healthy, but still trying to thrive and all that too. So, but I
yeah,
think because I stayed much longer in mom's womb and all that too, and there was some. She would get to give you if you ask her, she'll give you the story anyway.
yeah,
So coming out to, I was just very um don't just they had more people were more open to carry Taiwo than I was. So
yeah.
Ayinka just had this
Special connection, yeah.
inclination towards me that time as the
That's the
firstborn.
firstborn for you. They always feel
That's
the
that's
need.
so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why she just that's the reason why she used to call me her
Your
son.
son,
So
yeah,
it's not as if there was anything special, like I was more
yeah,
special than anything. It's just
yeah,
I need to be more careful taking care of this child than
yeah,
than Taiwo was. So that's just to
yeah. And with Taiwan's big head, you could see him from afar. So that one was seen those baby pictures. Yeah, Mr. Kenny.
In our case, our parents and a lot of the family didn't show favoritism to either one of us. I mean, I think it also helped because we were identical. So they were like, oh, it was all fluffy. I know
mm,
this means we'll take the two of them instead of choosing just one. So they didn't, we didn't get that sense of like one was favored more than the other. I think for me, the challenge is more around the comparison where if one's trajectory is going in a certain way and they think, okay, the other one should follow the same trajectory, that's where it might feel um, as if everybody is trying to force the other one to keep up with the pace. I guess the advice I'll give to any twin going through that, any set of twins going through that, is just continue to encourage each other to say, you get there at your own time. Don't look at the external noise because it always be there. People always try to put those comparison in place. So just about the twins working together to try to shut off those external noises. But in terms of like favoritism, we didn't really experience much of that.
Yeah. Okay. Then these are good advice to live by. So, all of you live in countries now that you were not born into, right? And I imagine you've interacted with non Nigerian or African twins. How would you say your like your perception of your twindom, whatever that name? How do you express it as twins compared to non-twin, non-African or Nigerian twins that you've met or friends that you've met? Are there differences?
I, for one, I don't think I've met any twin here yet.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah.
can't give
Okay,
an opinion on that yet, too. But
okay, that's okay. How about you, T Dog?
I mean, I've met twins, like I said, at work and stuff, but I've not met their twin partners, so
It's hard to say. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, it's hard to tell.
Okay, okay. Mr. Kenny, how about you?
Yeah, I've met and they just sit like regular siblings. So I know like two sets of twins, identical and then fraternal. They just see themselves like regular siblings. We, especially like we are Yorubas, we've got like the Oriki going for us.
mhm.
We've got things like people think we're special. So like growing up, I don't know about you guys, growing up,
Yep.
they'll give us
Beans.
money. People always try to chum me up to twins that oh, the twins are really special. They try to
Hmm.
give us money and things like that.
Hmm.
But looking at other tunes from other culture, they are just like regular tunes. But us, like growing up in Nigeria, was quite special. And especially you go to places, people start singing your Ricky. It used to be quite embarrassing sometimes, but I enjoyed that bit. And yeah, these guys don't have it. Well, in the UK, from my UK experience.
Yeah. I kind of suspect you might wonder those people that used to give you money as a kid now, where are they now? Can they still be sending the money? Like, cash up.
Honestly,
So, for those that are listening, a little bit about Yoruba culture. This is also going to segue into my very next question. So, Yoruba is a tribe and also a language spoken by the Yoruba people in Nigeria. Twins or Ibeji, they hold this revered and mystical status. And the Yorubas, especially a part called Igbora in Oyo State, they have one of the highest occurrences of twin births in the world, and they attribute that to a special dish of yam and
yeah.
soup that which can cause multiple births. And this phenomenon is actually deeply embedded in our tradition and beliefs. And twins are considered to be auspicious. Some worship them. They feel like they have unique spiritual connections and believed to bring blessings to their families. And sometimes they might create like effigies or wooden figures called Ere Ibeji, which is an honor of a twin, sometimes who has passed away, to symbolize their continued presence in the family. With the introduction of Christianity and all that, a lot of people don't practice that anymore. But all that to say that families often celebrate twins with special ceremonies. Thank God for Mary Slessor, who came in Calabar to abolish the killing of twins, because that's also another story for another day. But I'm curious to know if either of you have any or observe or cherish any specific twin related traditions or beliefs from Nigeria. I know whenever I cook beans, Taro makes a big deal about it. Oh, is this a beige? I'm like, no, we're just cooking beans. Because he loves beans. So I'm just curious to know if you have any. When you love your
Don't you? Yeah.
I cannot make that oriki. But yeah, they have the oriki and they're supposed to say it. It's supposed to call out the date in them. Just play the YouTube version. But I'm curious to know if you had any special traditions any of you still uphold as twins. Yeah.
Not really. It's just when people just come out and give us the Ricky. It's the Ricky stuff that gets me. To be honest with you, I think the
Yeah.
Ricky really gets into the head, especially when it's coming from your mom.
What does it
Yeah.
do to you? What does it do to you? Let me, can you describe?
It's psyching you up now. Do you get now? They're just psyching you up
Makes
and it just
Yeah, it makes you feel special.
makes you feel really
That is
special.
your
Yeah, just yeah.
Really?
Not good. Yeah, just
I mean, we'll never know. I'm not a twin, so I don't know.
no. Come on, you have them. You're from yeah.
I have oriki, but yeah, my grandma used to say, but she's no longer here, so nobody to give me oriki. But I feel like the twin one is different.
She said it, didn't you feel special about
There's
it?
something, yeah. It calls something out to me that I can't even describe.
That's it. That's exactly the feeling too. I don't think it's describe it. It just makes your head, well, you say your head swells. So.
But it's the same Oriki they use for all of you, right?
Yes, it's the same
So
one.
it's not so special, anyways.
Well, so it's nothing special. That's cool.
I mean, it's special for twins, but then it's almost all twins getting the same thing.
Okay, they
When
keep it
you
the
mean
same.
yeah, or something like that. I wish I had
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And time, anytime I say it, but time, it just grins. Like, I'm like, look,
Yeah, I like it. Also, I like it. Don't you? Tuning back.
okay. Mr. Kate, how about you? Do you eat beans? Like, is this something? I mean, when you have beans in your family, do you tie that to like your baby things? Hashtag.
No, but grandma used to do it when, yeah, growing up, every other summer she would say Ewa Beji, she would do it, and yeah, those are memories that I always cherish. But yeah, growing up and moving out of Nigeria, we don't get to do that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, looking back now, right? What would you say? I mean, because you all have your uniqueness, even though you have this twin shape you all share. Looking back, what would you say to your younger selves about the journey ahead of as twins? Like, given how everything has unfolded in your lives, if you could go back in time.
Hmm. Say to your younger selves, like,
Mm-hmm.
is it knowing how things are now?
Yeah, how things are now, like preparing yourself, like like all the things you've had to go through, the sort of comparisons and the path you've taken and all of that, like, and this is also just putting something out there for the listeners who might still be on that journey, like younger listeners. Yeah.
Yeah, that don't put too much pressure on yourself, and everything will turn out fine. You know, just keep grinding, I guess.
Thank you. Mr. Kenny, how about you?
For me, I'll say, especially for the identical twins, I'll say embrace your individualities. I know you guys look the same, and people will expect you to act the same, but identify those individualities that you have and embrace it and fulfill it. But also make the most of your identicality. Start a Facebook channel, start a YouTube, TikTok. People like looking at twins. People, I mean, you look at adverts. They use twins in adverts. If the twin that uses the dishwasher gets cleaned up, the one that doesn't use it. So people like looking at twins. So you might as well make the most
Money
of
out of
it.
it. Don't leave money on the table.
Exactly. I mean, I grew up with the internet. Imagine if Taiwan and I had started a YouTube channel way back ago. We'll be millionaires by now. So for twins, yeah, make the most of that curiosity, not to talk about you, but also embrace those individuality that you've got.
And I think that, I mean, that's a very solid advice all around, by the way. But I think that also very very applicable to people with siblings, especially when you have different dynamics. So thanks for that reminder. So I know for the Adelipes, growing up they had this dream to build houses beside each other and maybe get married on the same day. Clearly it's not working, we're so far apart. There's a huge ocean between us. But I'm curious to know, I'm still gonna ask the Adelipes, but for Mr. Kenny, were there some childhood aspirations you had with your twins that are related to just doing life together? And how's that turning out?
Yeah, definitely had the aspiration of, yes, doing life together. Not necessarily like living close to each other, because like I said, we've seen like other twins in our family do different things. So we know at some point we'll have to do our things. But I didn't envisage we'll be living like this far apart and not seeing each other regularly. Um, but for the most part, I think things have turned out well for us in the sense that we started off studying the same thing because our dad was into IT as well and introduced us into it, and we studied it in our first degree. I have since carried on the path, but I'm glad to see that it's taken up a different path. So in my mind, I'm able to see what could have been if I did something else and not what like dad did, and I'm continuing on. So I'm able to see, okay, if I ended up working as a marketer, this is how I'd have been. So yeah, that's something. And I think there's something about twins that's quite admirable where you've got two people that have the same opportunities. You can not necessarily mirror each other, but you can see what could have been in your partner. And I see that with a lot of the twins in my family. They pursue different careers, and you can tend to see, okay, if we switch the role and until this was doing this, until this was doing that, it would have been interesting to see that dynamic. So it's quite nice to see on like single teams where okay, you're a doctor and you only know what it feels like being a doctor. But imagine you have somebody that looks exactly like you, that is doing what you would have wanted to do. I think it's quite nice to see. Well, in my own head.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Adedikwa, do you have anything you want to add?
No, no, not per se.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. All right. So for parents who might have twins, especially younger parents with twins and all that, any advice you'd like to give them, especially helping to, because I feel like a lot of the trajectory you find in twins is really built from how they grew up, right? How was that said to either encourage or demolish as it were? And it seems like you all had very good upbringing that didn't really set you guys apart. But for those who might still be doing this, maybe getting started with raising their twins, what are some of the advice you'd like to give them based on your experiences as twins?
Well, I think if I can go first, yeah.
Mm.
So I think they should respect each one of them's individualities too. They were born on the same day, but they have their strengths and their weaknesses too. So as I said earlier on the show, I said we are just brothers or sisters or siblings, just coincidentally born on the same day. So that's just what makes us twins. So, and I think everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses too. So just try to encourage each one of them as both individuals and not try to compare so much. And that's just basically just encouraging them to be their own selves, and not to compare. That kind of strengthens their own resolve to life and how they see life moving into the future too. So
Thank you
that'll be
for
all.
that. Solid advice. Anyone wants to add anything to that?
Yeah, and I think twins can, and yeah, I'm not sure we did this a lot growing up, but two is better than one, right? Yes, we are individuals, and having a twin brother or sister, you can identify their weaknesses, right? So if you do that, you can actually identify each other's strengths, and you know, hopefully, if one strength, can make up for the other's weakness, so that way you can build each other up, growing up. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, just almost like as a team, united team to complement one another. Where one is strong, the other person
Yeah.
can, yeah, one and one is weak. Sorry, the other person can pick up. Thank you, thank you, Mr. Kenny. How about you?
Yeah. I think for like parents raising twins, I just say just expose them to equal opportunities. Um, I know it might cost more, but just make sure you give them equal chances. I know sometimes some people are caught within between, oh, do we send one twin first to do this and the other at a later point? Where the opportunity and the means is available, I'll say just expose them to the same opportunity, because you don't want a situation where one thinks, what could have been if I was the one that had this chance as opposed to the other person. Even if it means like delaying it for a while. So like if say it's down to like, okay, they want to school and they say they want to study abroad, I can only afford one. It might be the case of, okay, just delay it by 1 year where you're able to gather up the money, so you send the two of them at the same time. Expose them to equal opportunities where possible.
That's a good one. Because I imagine now with this economy, it's
Mhm.
not even physically possible to meditate with. So I like to throw this question back to you. Knowing what you know about your lives and who you are and all that, would you still want to have twins if you had your way? Why or why not? Kenya US, Kenya, you're so cool to say no. Why not? I thought you guys were special.
Yeah, that's why I practically broke them and said we're just humans born on the same day, so there's nothing
Yeah.
special. I think it's just sorry, it's just stressful at this in this economic age to have to.
But some people want it, some people really, really want it, and
Okay, okay.
prayers. Hopefully, those prayers are answered for those who
Yeah,
eagerly want
no,
that. Yeah,
they will, they
yeah,
will.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
personally, no, no, no.
So for you, it's more for like economic reasons, right?
I think so. The smart reason.
How about you, T Dog?
And sanity
Yeah,
to people that away.
yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Actually, I just think about it like imagine having twins. I mean, you're going to have an instant playmate, someone to play. I mean, look at how what we had, right? You know, before
Come on, say a puppy.
Adire Regina, right?
two,
Imagine if
two puppies.
imagine if Shikami had a twin sister or twin brother. She'd have had someone to play with and not feel so
That's
alone.
Shikemi's point of view. How about the parent point of view?
That is it. It's from the parents' point
Well,
of view.
well,
That's what she's asking.
I feel like having twins and just do the stress once and for all instead of like doing it one time and then
I feel like you should ask the wives this question. Speaking of which, you'll be talking to the wife because you may have no idea what you're talking about clearly. Mr. Kenny, how about you?
Um, no, it's just going to be double the work. And then, yeah, maybe I like from far, maybe one of my siblings,
Yeah.
and then I'll be able to give them all the advice and
Mhm.
coaching from the side. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And for those who are listening, if you want to add your question, because we'll be rounding off soon. And so, speaking of which, we are going to be having a conversation with Mrs. Popola Tutu and also Mrs. Iano Adedipe, so Taiwo's Kennedy's wife. We're going to have a conversation with them just to see what's like being on the other side of the twin life. So, you don't want to miss that episode. We'll announce that once we have all the schedules aligned. So before we go real quick, are there some things you feel like we should know? And by we on the other side, we with the fantasies and the perception about what twins should be like. What was that thing you want to get off your chest? Finally, this is your soapbox. And I'll give you guys the opportunity to air out your final thoughts, as it were.
Anyone wants to go first?
I think you should go for since you mentioned.
we like to go first.
Mm.
It is not a fantasy. There's nothing special. Yeah? I think we should just break that myth. And as I said, I don't want you to sound like a broken record now. And I've said it already. And we're just individuals born on the same day with, coincidentally, with normal human beings that are living a life daily as every other one is living their lives. So, I don't know about other twins. Maybe there are some special twins somewhere that have that telepathic communication. Not met yet. I would really love to meet them too, to be honest. But yeah, maybe sometimes I just feel towards Taiwan. I just feel like to call him or reach out sometimes to maybe that is the telepathy. But I think that happens to everyone, me and everyone too. But I don't think it's supposed to be like a twin thing. But that's it from me, anyways. Let's just break that myth. There's nothing really.
Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
T Dog.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's any meat per se. Yeah, I think we're special. I'll say that one though. Yeah, we're special, definitely special. You don't. It's not every time that have an instant sibling born on the same day, right? I think that makes it different, or having like or triplets, or I mean, yeah, you're different, but you celebrate the same birthday, and it's just something I think that's unique and different. So, but again, we're not special per se in that sense compared to other people.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. Mr. Kenny, by the way, your wife says she's going to cook beans for you tomorrow. And thanks to Tito for for being here. Loving her comments. Come on, worry. She'll cook me sweet tomorrow.
No,
It's
that's
funny how
not.
I read it out in her voice, so that made it the one for me. Yeah,
Yeah. Shout out to Tutu.
yeah,
She's one of a kind.
yeah. She
Lucky to
sure
have
is.
her.
Yeah.
Um, from my end, it's just that bit I said earlier on in the show about the binarization. Just to let people know that it's not every time that there's the binary between the two people is okay for them to have like similarities. There's no evil twin. There's not necessarily an evil and a good twin. Two of them can be good. Two of them can be evil. So let's stop binarizing twins. Well, a quick question for the Adedigbe twins. I know
Ooh.
you are not too.
I had a question for you too.
Ah, wait. I'm the host of the podcast. Just kidding. Go ahead, Mr. Ken, and then Tidog, you can ask your question.
That's a twin
Yeah,
connection.
I know
I'm
you are.
liking it. Yeah.
I know you are not to identicals because I know in my case, sometimes I'm walking down the streets of London and somebody's like, "Oh, Taiwo, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "No, I'm not Taiwo." And when the most recent one was, I went to pick my son up from school one day, and one guy too was entering to try and pick his son up, and I was like, "Ah, Taiwo, why are you doing here?" And like, "Oh, no, it's not Taiwo." I was like, "Wow, really?" And then we just got talking, and yeah. But do you guys just get that sense of not being unique? Like if you meet other people, like other singletons, you meet them. I am meeting them for the first time. It's like I'm meeting a unique person. Okay, you get to meet the person. What's your name? And then that rapport builds up. But you meet somebody and like, oh, Tao, what are you doing here? Or Ken, why are you doing here? Because they've seen they've seen you before, so you don't feel unique. How does that happen to you, and how do you navigate that? How does that make you feel?
No, let me go first this time.
Oh, I'm not.
But yeah, I know that there have been some instances where, I've been mixed up, with Kanye, before, you know, but I'm like, yeah, we don't look anything alike. Why would you mix us up? Things like that. But yeah, that's happened before, um, and yeah, I don't know. Kenny, what do you think?
It really doesn't. It's very rare because we're fraternal twins, nonetheless. I think if we were more identical, that would have happened a lot. That's because we have distinct. He's taller than I am. I'm darker than he is.
It's more
He's got a
handsome.
bigger head. Yeah.
More handsome and
Yeah, but handsome in your own rights.
But handsome, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we don't get that mix up a lot. So I think it's
Yeah.
more common with you,
With
identical
with the
twins.
identical twins, yeah. And let me just say, the way you keep calling us singleton, I don't know. I was a little bit offended by that term, Mister. I was like, I was singleton. I was like, ouch.
Well, fine as
Yes, I thought we were one. I thought we were all in this together. I was like,
that's the
but it's
thing
all
that
right. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Well, me, I have a question for you, Mr. K. Sorry, I was not able to answer your question about whether they were mixed up and all that. Perhaps if you had like another set of identical
Oh,
twins. Speaking of identity, like when you were in school, did you always swap out, one another? Like, you go and do this for me while I, shank work or
Mhm.
shank school. Did you do that?
Yeah. We did that quite a bit. I mean, we're in the same class, so sometimes just getting to go to school, they'll change the share so it looks as if it's two different people.
For sure.
Yeah, those are some of the
Yeah.
perks of being identical twins. Yeah.
My question for you though was, do your siblings or your parents mix you up at home, and do you guys cover for each other?
Yes, we cover for each other. Mix up. Sometimes, like if we turn our backs to them and we speak, sometimes they don't get who is who. But like when they see us, yeah, they're able to recognize us
How?
over the
How?
phone sometimes.
How do
Red
they
mark.
recognize you?
Did you
Yeah,
have
so
a
like, yeah, so that was like
ah
Yeah.
yeah.
ah
So yeah,
man, it must be confusing. It was really be confusing. I would like to see your kids, maybe when you all get to meet and see
yeah,
if your kids will be able to, have like, imagine just them looking like, Daddy has two people, you know.
I remember. Sorry, I remember meeting. I don't even meet. Tolani doesn't know them. Tawi, you remember Kenya and Tawi Simino?
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Don't they
yeah.
have like two sets of twins in that family?
Yes, they
Really?
do. They have two sets of twins. The other ones, the younger ones are that they are fraternal. Those ones don't look alike. But the first ones, the ones that went to did architecture and whatever
Yeah,
with
your
Chidi,
neighbors. I remember them. Yeah.
those are
Look
very
at Kenny
identical.
now, but
And it took a
I can
while before I
I could
got
tell the
used to them too.
difference.
But once I got to know, I knew them already. I could just tell. I didn't even need to do for anything special, or I could just tell. I don't know. Maybe it's that connection I had.
So you guys have connection. We knew
Yeah,
it.
quick connection. So I don't know. I can tell them apart easily too. So my question also goes to Mr. Kenny Popola too. So when you guys got in trouble in probably let's say primary or secondary school too, did they ever mistake you for Taiwo and you got beaten for? Did you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah.
did you get blamed and did anybody say, you know what, let me go take the cane for you? I'll stand on your behalf or stuff like that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
Maybe I
that
can
only
chase
have
you better.
no, that only have happened once because, like I said, for the most part, in like primary, secondary school, we're like in
The classes.
different classes, but like in uni, yeah, we're in the same class. But yeah, only happened once where we got into trouble and we were mixed up for each other. Because for the most part, we were good kids, so we didn't usually get into trouble. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of crimes, not that any one of you should be doing crimes, by the way, but did you know that identical twins they present a unique challenge in forensics? And I know it's because I watch a lot of true crimes. Because of their shared DNA profile, there are several criminal cases where, because of an involvement of an identical twin, they were not able to distinguish who must have committed the crime, and due to the law of double jeopardy, they couldn't convict any of the twins, so they were let scot free. So basically, if you want to commit a crime, not saying that here, get yourself an identical twin. And your siblings have come to defend themselves. They say you guys are not identical to you, to them, that they can tell you guys apart. They don't need your birthmarks to tell you guys apart.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
this is from
yeah.
Or
yeah.
even my sisters.
Yeah, your sisters are here to defend.
I I still feel like no matter how identical you are, there's still something little, either from the facial appearance or something that they can use
Yeah,
to
there's always
identify.
something to tell them apart.
But I think that has to come from continuous interaction with them. Because if I saw you for the first time, I'm just gonna be like, whoops, not gonna even bother myself. I have friends, Candy and Taiwo, so they keep confusing me to date because I can't tell who apart. Like they
Mhm.
have the same face. They used to have the same Facebook account. So if you're talking to one, at the point I just stopped trying to distinguish. And any conversation I had, it was just like one long conversation. I stopped saying who's Kenny, who's Taiwo, and they always did that just to get a rise out of me. So
Oh yeah, they are really weird. That's a weird twin dynamic. I wonder why you didn't bring them up earlier. Like, how would they have one Facebook profile and
but
that's it?
they don't have that anymore. They're married now, so they have separate lives. But before
I
then,
guess
they
it was
did everything
intentional.
together.
They were
Yes, yes, they did
intentional.
everything together. They worked together. They were in the same line of business. Yeah, yeah. And your siblings wanted to say that your personalities are different. Oh, they're shaking this table. Yeah, yeah. Well,
I
I
think we
guess.
should do an
As
episode
we've
where you
grown
have
up, yeah, the
twins.
Mm.
differences in our personality are becoming more pronounced.
Hey. So I want you to not go and say I love you to the wrong twin. Oh. She said she couldn't tell you guys apart in uni. I mean, she couldn't tell you guys apart in uni. When you guys try to play to like you go and be my twin.
No, but we didn't meet
Tutu.
in uni. We went to the same uni, but we didn't meet in uni. So yeah, so from our uni days, she would have known we were twins. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, what a life! What a life!
I think you have a show where you have twin ladies too. So yeah, sample their own
Yeah, I should
opinion.
have invited Candy and Taiwo Melbury too.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Melbury. I remember
Yeah, that's so
twins.
different. They're still so different. So different. Like night and day different, but they're sweet. They have like unique personalities, but they're both sweet. So yeah, that
But
would be nice.
similar to me and Candy in
Very
sentiment.
similar. Yeah, yeah. Your
Candy
Taiwo is more like Taiwo. Yeah, your Taiwo, Kenny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is
Similar.
more Candy is more of
I
the
concur.
stubborn and more of the troublemaker and everything and more, yeah, anyway.
They are unique. You both are unique, and I think with time I've come to just accept that. As me being on the other side, it's just trying to accept that okay, it's all a fantasy in my head that twins should always do things together, and even though they're like different people, it could also be the way we're groomed. You know, the movies we watch, the way they talk about
Yes,
twins, like
yes,
everything
true.
should be done in unison, and you realize that it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure because I feel like I'm unique. That said, having a twin, I think it will be stressful because it's like I'm not as unique as I think because there's always a constant reminder. So I guess there are pros and cons to this.
Yeah.
And
Um,
also, T Dog should will know this, that twins have also been a useful asset to the world in a lot of medical trials. A lot of
Research, yeah,
things
yeah,
Yeah.
happening
yeah,
Um,
because
yeah, yeah,
you have to have
yeah.
the
conjoined.
control and somebody that is so. Anytime you say a twin, just give us money. We save humanity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we can talk about. I mean, thanks for bringing that point. We can talk about the relative contribution of twins, especially their valuable scientific insight. But there's been a lot of controversies, like, because I know in the UK there was a time, even in the US as well, they separated twins intentionally, identical twins, and they didn't tell them they were identical. They wanted to raise the whole question of nurture versus nature. What's his name? The survival of the fittest guy. Darwin. His brother, I think his cousin or so, was a very known twins fanatic, and he did a lot of very questionable research on twins. And even during World War II, Mengele, who was infamously known as the Angel of Death, he performed a lot of brutal experiments on inmates, including a large number of twins. So there's been a lot of issues with that. And I think there's a story of the Gibbons twins. I don't know if you heard them. They were both in the UK actually. They came from the Caribbean, and these twins they invented their own languages. They never used to talk to. They hardly talk
What?
to people. Yes, and they said that one twin had to die for the other person to live, and
Whoa.
one of the twin actually just mysteriously died. They put them in a care home because they were committing a lot of crimes, and even their parents couldn't talk to them. They had just invented their language. It's a true life story. And one of the twins eventually passed away, just slept off and said she was gonna. One person had to give up their life for the other twin to live their life. And but they were very smart. They wrote poems. They were very artistic, but they just had they were locked into their own world. So we can have some really really spooky, extreme
Yeah, I think some of
expression
them
of
are really
twins.
connected. Were they females or males?
Females, strongly
I think
connected.
that buttresses my point. I think the
Yeah.
female identical twins are even more connected. If you ever see this shows on TV, they are also
Yes.
very
Yes.
much more connected to each other
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
male identical twins. For the guys, if you read about the Lijadi twins, you know the
Oh
Lijadi.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The ones I used to sing. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
Lebanon,
yeah, 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 yeah. I think one of them passed away. Yeah,
one of them passed away and life
from
has never
cancer. Yeah,
been the
yeah,
same.
the same. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It
even
could also be the hormonal influences. Which ones again?
but,
Yeah.
then there are also a set of twins too again that sang. They're also musicians too. One died
Mm.
recently. What's the name? I've forgotten the name
What
anyway.
song? Are they Nigerians?
Nigerians.
Mm.
I can't remember honestly, but one also died recently. They died. There was this medical condition called. If I see the name, I'll send to you. Don't worry.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'll send it
Yeah,
to you. I'll send it to you
yeah,
tonight. So
yeah, yeah,
they were
yeah.
really connected, and ever since one just passed away, the
It
other
was
one
never the same.
ever the same again.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I'm done with all my questions. I'd like to wrap up. I don't know if you guys wanted to say anything before we come bring to a close.
Oh, I just remember that I didn't get to really comment on. I think one of the questions you asked about
Which one
whether
was that?
like if we like plan to like
Oh
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Your childhood dreams. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. I don't know if Kenny remembers. We were younger then, and he wanted to go into. I think we were in secondary school then, and we're like, oh, we're going to design the
Well,
house.
yeah, I went to school. The
Yeah,
houses joined together.
you know, and it's funny how that kind of stuck in my mind. And then even till today, I still tell him, "What are you doing in UK? Come to the US. Let's make it bigger." Yeah,
How will we take every opportunity?
Come and build a house.
exactly.
Build a wall.
Don't worry, we will manifest it to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It happen. Mhm.
Anyways, I want to just say, this was very eye opening for me. I feel like I'm left with a deeper appreciation for the unique complexities and joys of tree life, and all of you just being here and peeling back that curtain of what it means to share such an intimate bond while also striving for your own individuality across continents. So in this episode so far, we've explored everything, from societal expectations and misconceptions that twins face to their personal stories and getting a glimpse of their lives, showing us that while they might share many similarities, their journeys are, distinctly their own. And I hope this is something I will leave with our audience today. For non-twins, maybe you have a twin in your family, perhaps you're a twin, or you want twins, you're married to a twin, or you have twin siblings. And we hope that this has really helped to lend support. And I want to thank, our guests, the Popolas and Editors for their openness, and to you listeners for joining us, especially to Mrs. Popola Tutu for encouraging and chiming in with very comedic timelines. So we hope that this episode really has helped you remind you of the value of understanding and appreciating everyone's unique experience. And each relationship is a world of its own, rich with its own stories and secrets, twins or not. And that said, this has been the More Civil podcast, where we try to bring stories that bridges cultures and connect lives. So until next time, keep celebrating your uniqueness and finding ways to strive to connect with one another. And more, if you love this episode, just find us on Instagram, on Facebook at the More Civil Podcast. And thank you so much, Kendi and Taiwo, Adedikwe, and also for Kendi. Popola, we're sorry your twin couldn't join. We hope that we catch him another time, hopefully. And thank you to the audience as well.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Mos.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.